Good morning, everyone. We are Team 1 from the Queensland Department of Premier and Cabinet. We have chosen to address the first challenge to promote the value of preparedness for Australian biosecurity issues. Small businesses represent a majority of the agriculture, forestry, and fishery industry, and we have created this solution with smaller growers and farmers in mind. Following a review of the brief, we have identified 4 key barriers that farmers and growers face to recognize the value of preparedness in the face of a biosecurity emergency. There's naturally lots of material available for farmers and growers online. However, there's still a lack of knowledge and understanding in the value of biosecurity planning. There's also a lack of trust, specifically in the government, and fear of the unknown when reporting a potential biosecurity hazard. What's going to happen if an incursion is reported? Effective planning is not sufficiently engaged and not high on their priority list. Due to being time poor and having competing priorities, where will they find the capacity to do this plan? And what's the value add to them? Actual implementation and follow-through of a plan is another key issue we want to address. So to address these concerns, we will be introducing 2 interventions. The first being, we want to shift the narrative through a biosecurity ambassador program. Then through this program, we also aim to facilitate the development and implementation of a plan with follow-ups to progress this into a norm and build habits.
As you can see above, and to give a bit more perspective, we've mapped out a general timeline of how these barriers can operate together to have the potential to significantly impact our farmers and growers. As you are all aware, a biosecurity plan is not compulsory for a farm to continue its business operations, and so the importance of such a plan is frequently prioritised below immediate profits and other high-risk concerns that are current at the time. Without a biosecurity plan, this leaves our farmers and growers vulnerable and unable to recognise and report potential biosecurity risks quickly. As a result, there is a possibility for an unidentified biosecurity breach to occur. Such a breach has the potential to create substantial economic and social impacts for our farmers and growers, with serious possibility for flow-on effects to other industries as well. Ultimately, an absent biosecurity plan has the potential to create a loss of livelihood for our farmers and growers.
When researching farmer and grower workflows, we identified 4 core behavioural factors that govern farmers and growers' actions and that can be leveraged and mitigated by our interventions. Their applications are as follows. Firstly, social norming is leveraged through the ambassador's biosecurity discussion being heavily contextualised around existing engagement they identify in their community or through discussion of prior ambassador engagement with farmers and growers in the same community. Secondly, opportunity cost neglect is leveraged through the ambassador discussing the significant costs growers and farmers could personally face and the financial loss members of their community could incur should they fail to implement a biosecurity plan and a biosecurity breach occur. Thirdly, in-group favouritism and out-group distrust are strong formers in rural agricultural communities. This is taken advantage of through the ambassador program via ambassadors being trusted members of these communities and the nature of farmers and ambassadors having existing relationships. Finally, defaulting. The prompting of the biosecurity discussion, planning and implementation creates situations where farmers are forced to opt out of engaging with biosecurity by the structure of the program, as the ambassador will confront the farmer or grower with biosecurity discussions on the back of normal workflows such as an agronomist health check or a vet livestock checkup.
So, to shift the narrative, we want the importance of biosecurity to be woven into the everyday lives of our farmers and growers. Through a series of checks and balances, we aim to identify a trusted peer ambassador who possesses the knowledge of relevant biosecurity hazards within their farming communities. We propose that this could be achieved through soft consultations and workshops within the community. From there, informal discussions relating to relevant biosecurity risks with our farmers and growers will commence, and it is intended that this will allow for targeted engagement during normative routines and will help to deliver a positive social norming effect for biosecurity compliance. Above, we have listed a few examples that the literature indicates would be positively perceived as peer ambassadors within our regional communities.
At the next stage, ambassadors will meet with the farmers during the day as part of their normal work duties. For vets, this is when they come in to check up on the health of livestock or during crop health checks for agronomists. This ensures ease of implementation by ensuring that this is not an extra task that the farmers must schedule into their already time-sensitive day. During this visit, the ambassador will assist the farmer in completing their biosecurity plan using the existing biosecurity workbook. This supports the farmers who were averse to completing a biosecurity plan due to a perceived lack of knowledge, as the ambassador will be there to offer guidance with implementation strategies. The next stage of the intervention ensures continuity and adherence to the biosecurity plan. At the original meeting, the farmer and ambassador will have agreed on a set period of time to reconvene and discuss any successes or challenges the farmer may have faced with the implementation of the biosecurity strategies. This is an attempt to nudge the farmer into adhering to the social expectations set by the ambassador and ensure long-term adherence and review of the biosecurity plan, as the meetings create an opportunity for farmers to identify if there is a need to update their plan. In terms of risks, we have identified 2, including potential for farmers to band together and refuse to participate in the ambassador program if they perceive that the program is associated with the government. There is unfortunately distrust between the government and farmers, which could potentially result in negative social norming. When considering the future trajectory of the interventions, financial incentives have been found to be a motivating factor in adherence to biosecurity plans and should be considered going forward. This could be in the form of financial support packages for farmers who do already have biosecurity plans in place and report biosecurity incidents, as well as financial incentives to encourage ambassadors. There is also consideration to extend the reach of the ambassador program and recruit potential ambassadors through participation in annual farming events across the state. There are a few events in Queensland alone held annually, with one of the major events being Farm Fest held in Kingsthorpe this year.
Finally, we would like to offer our intervention through the lens of a behavioural framework. We believe that our nudge is easy because our ambassadors explain things simply and in the context of community responsibility and prevention of financial loss, and help the farmers work through the more challenging aspects of making a biosecurity plan. We believe our nudge is attractive in that it aims to reduce costly responses to a biosecurity outbreak, and these are communicated as attractive reasons to engage in the creation of a biosecurity plan and the reporting of a potential outbreak in a way that is not disruptive to farmers and growers' daily lives. We believe that our nudge is social in that the ambassador is present with farmers when they explain the risks of a biosecurity outbreak, fill in their biosecurity plan, and is also someone the farmers know and trust and hopefully have existing reciprocity with. And finally, we believe that our nudge is timely because the biosecurity plan and informal discussion about biosecurity risks are presented by the ambassador on the back of normative engagement for the farmer or grower and ambassador, such as during those vet visits or during agronomist health checkups. Thank you.